In this modern world where anything and everything leaves behind a digital footprint, which means we are already dealing with huge data around. What if that data is not in structure format and you need to spend like plenty of hours to extract that data from any internet source? Therefore, there comes the need of web scraping technique to extract the table data automatically and in-house to your business repository. For an instance, storing an Excel file for quick operations with the help of Python, Selenium, Beautiful Soup, RPA, etc. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Vikrant and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Corner String. This video is specifically to touch base on scrape table from a website using Selenium and Python. As we move forward, we will launch the browser, we'll open the website, we will find the data table, headers, number of rows and columns, and of course, important thing, we will write a relative XPath to extract the table data dynamically and store in Excel sheet in a tabular format. Let me tell you, if you're not from technical background, no need to worry. Piece by piece, I will break down the code for you. From importing the necessary libraries to setting up the browser instance, we will tackle it all. I will try to explain each line in simple terms. Being said that, let's get started. All right, so we will use the Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, the list of countries in dependency by population. So you can see here the table. It's a huge table, and I believe there are more than like 150 plus rows. So here are the headers: country, population, percentage of world, date, source, right? So in the first column here in the country, you can see the list of countries: China, India, United States, Indonesia, and so forth, right? And the second column, it represents the population. So China, India, United States, these are the major contributor in terms of the whole world percentage. China, it stands at 17.5%, India at 17.3%, United States 4.2%, and I believe these are the dates on which this information has been feeded into the Wikipedia. And the last one, it represents the source. So whether it's the official estimate or the projections, what is the source of this information, right? So this is the whole table which we will extract the information and will save it into the worksheet, into the Excel worksheet by using the Selenium and Python. Okay, so let's jump to the PyCharm and we'll start writing up the code. I already have written few lines of the code because these are always are going to be remain same for other automation projects too, because these are the foundation steps. Let me try to explain each line of the code and what actually it signifies. All right, so the first one here, the from Selenium import WebDriver. From selenium.webdriver.chrome options, we are importing the options, then we are importing the service, then we have imported the by module, and then we have imported the Chrome driver manager, and the in the end OpenPyXL, right? So OpenPyXL, it's for the to read and write in the Excel, right? So we will export sorry we will extract that data table information, and then we will save it in the Excel worksheet, right? So that's the reason we need the OpenPyXL to read and write the Excel file. uh, then the options and the service, these two are the important one. So let me move to the one note. The Chrome option class is a concept in Selenium WebDriver for manipulating various properties of the Chrome driver. It helps you perform various operations like opening Chrome in maximize mode, disable existing extensions, disable pop-ups, etc. By default, when Selenium opens up any browser, maybe the Chrome browser or the Firefox or maybe Safari, it opens up without any extension or history or cookies, etc. In the Chrome browser, you must have observed a ribbon info bar coming at the top showing a message that this Chrome browser is controlled by automation tool, right? So with the help of the Chrome option, we can it can be used to alter these default settings and can disable the info bar messages, etc. Service class, that is responsible for starting and stopping of the Chrome driver. By module, it's a set of supported locator strategies. So with the help of the by module, we can find the web element, or we can find the web elements with the help of these locator strategies like class name, CSS selector, ID, link text, name, partial link text, tag name, and XPath. All right, I hope it's quite clear now. Now, moving on to the next lines of code here. Uh, this is quite self-explanatory. So this is the path of the file. we are going to use the Excel spreadsheet where the information will be stored. And WB, I've created another variable to open that particular Excel file with the help of the OpenPy Excel and load workbook. And URL is nothing but it's just the same URL of the Wikipedia we are going to use for the extraction of the BAP table. Okay, and then the next one, I we already have talked about options and service here. Now talking about the Chrome driver manager. So Chrome driver manager, this will check actually whatever the version, the Chrome version you are using on your local machine. So in my machine, I'm using the latest one, that is the 116, right? So Chrome driver manager will check whether the Chrome driver is already installed for that browser in your system or not. If it's not, then it will go to the CFT dashboard and will download the web driver from there. Okay, so what is CFT? CFT is the Chrome for testing. It's a recent update, right? So it's a dedicated and separate Chrome browser for testing purpose only, and that's the reason actually I've added another line of code here, Chrome options binary location, right? So this will actually, this is the right one, Chrome, sorry, Chrome options binary location, right? So you can see this particular line of code, chrome option dot binary location is equal to cft driver. So what I have done, I've given the path of the chrome exe file. Now for the cft we need two files, chrome exe and the chrome driver as well, right? So I've created another separate video for this one. I would recommend you to please go through that video to know all the updates about the cft. Okay, and this particular line of the code, chrome options dot add experimental option detach true. So by default, when you launch the browser and your web page gets in, when your web page gets appear for the testing, for the automation perspective, right? So what will happen that after the code completion, the browser and the web page will automatically gets closed. So that's the inherent property, right? So if you would like to keep your browser and your web page to remain open after the code execution, you need to write this particular line of the code, detest true dot add experimental option chrome options, right? And then last two are the driver dot get url and driver dot maximize window. So this is very simple. Your driver will open the URL, which URL, the Wikipedia we are going to use here, and in the end maximize window, because by default it will not open the browser or your web page in the full screen. So to in order to make it 100% or in order to make it full screen, you have to write this particular line of the code. So I hope it's quite clear as of now. And now we will move towards the next portion of this video, which is very important, that how we will read the table and how we will find the number of the rows, the number of the columns, and then we'll make it dynamic, and how, what kind of the loop we are going to use here, and then how we can, extract the information and then store that information in the Excel worksheet with the help of the loop. So we'll jump onto that particular session. Okay, so we will right click on the screen and click on the inspect, and you will see the up arrow here. Click on this one and then select any country here. Let's select the China. So for China, the moment you clicked, and on the left hand side of your screen, you can see that a line of the code has been, colored with the blue background. So it means that this is positioning to this one, right? But before we move further, we need to understand that what's this TD, TR, TH. Okay, so these are the tags, right? So table, it defines the HTML table. TH, it contains for the header information in a table. TR, it defines a row in a table, and TD, it defines a column in a table. Okay, so before we start understanding that what is the look and feel or how many rows and columns are there, we need to find the table class here, right? What is the name of the table? So here I can see it that the table, while I click on the table class, it's selecting the whole table in one go, right? So let me write the XPath, the relative XPath for this one. So relative XPath, it always starts with the forward slash, and then we are using the relative XPath. So uh, we'll go with the at the rate class, and then class name is equal to this one, And the moment I have given this class name, the wiki table sortable jQuery table sorter, it's helping me in order to select the whole table. Okay. So after that, in the table class, there's a T body, right? So in order to move one step forward, what I can do, I can forward slash it again and then type here T body. And then after T body, first of all, I need to read the row, right? So first row, how many columns? Then second row, how many columns, right? In this way, so row one, row one, column two, row one, column three. In this way, this will move in an incremental order. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, to read the row, I'm going to use the tag as tr. Okay. Let's copy this one and then we'll include this in the code. So I'm creating here one variable, so, name as table rows, and then we will use the driver dot find elements this time because there are more than one row. Okay. And by module and by xpath, and then we will provide here the xpath. Okay. But this will give us the information about a single row, but we are interested to know the number of rows in a table, so we'll use the length function here and then we'll close it. Let's test it whether we are getting the table rows here or not. So print your table rows. Let's click on the run button and we'll see. So this will open your browser in the new dedicated Chrome browser, that is the CFT, right? So that's the reason it's taking the time for the first time, because it's opening, right? So let's wait for couple of seconds. Yeah, you can see that at the top, the info bar, it says that Chrome for testing v1.16. So it's only for the automated testing. This is not the normal browser that we use for the generic internet perspective, right? Coming back on the pie chart, so total number of rows are 242. Okay, so these are the number of rows. Now in the same manner, we would like to make Python understand that what are the number of the columns. So what I'm going to do, I'm just creating another variable, table dot columns, and then using the same line of code from the above one, but we will do some changes here. After tr, we will give the column as well, right? So for first row, first column, for the first row, second column, first row, third column, right? So as you can see that in the table, uh, here the first row, it starts from the country dependency. Sorry, it starts from the world and then the total population, then the percentage of the world, 100%. However, my countries, it gets started from the row number 2. So I will pass here the tr2 and then td. This should suffice the need, and this should give me the table columns as well. Do you want me to test? Let's do it again. Now this time we'll have the number of the rows and number of the columns. Once we have these both attributes, it will become very easy for us to just run the loop and then uh, extract the information and store it in the Excel. So here you can see that 242 are the rows and 6 is the column. All right. Okay. So what we are going to do next? So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6 is something in which there is no data which is beneficial for us. So we will we will stop the loop at 5 only. Okay. So let's write the code. So we'll use the for loop here. So for r in range 2 to table rows plus 1. Why plus 1? Because Python by default, it starts the range from 0 and it stops before the specified number. So here my total rows are 242, so it will stop at 241, but we need the last row information as well, so we will add plus 1 here. Okay, and in the inner loop for C in range. We'll start the column from first and then we'll pass the table columns reference, and then we'll create an one variable table values is equal to, I'm going to use the above line of the code, but we'll make some changes here. Okay. All right. So this time it should not be the elements because we are using the loop. So one by one the value will get start saving in the table values, and then table values will get stored in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay. And instead of the double quotes, I'm using the single quote to end and start. And in this one at the read class, it should be in the double quotes. We'll make this tr and td dynamic. Okay, so we'll use the concatenate plus, and then str will pass the rows reference here. Okay, and then we'll close this one. In the similar manner, we'll just copy this one and we'll paste it here. Instead of r, this should be the c, and whatever the value it's in this particular element in the table record, it's going to pass me to the table value. So I'm going to use here dot text. Perfect. Okay, another variable sh1 wb dot active, right? So whatever the workbook we are using here, whatever the sheet which is active, please pass the name to sh1. Okay, so I already have created another video to how to read and write in the Excel using the OpenPy Excel library. So I recommend you guys to please go through that video. That will definitely help. Okay, last one, we'll use the print to print the table values. Now this value, the table value is holding, we will pass this value to the Excel spreadsheet. So sh1 dot cell, and then row is equal to your r, which is nothing but the table row reference, and column will be my c, the column number here, and the value will be equal to your table values. And the last one, we will save the information in the Excel workbook. Okay, let me show the Excel workbook to you. We are going to use this one. So it have the same headers: country, population, percentage of world, date, recorded, source. Okay, uh, so that's the code, guys. That's the code. Let me just do the quick QC. Okay, that's great. That's great. We have the table rows columns, print table rows columns, then the outer loop for loop, then the inner, and then table values. This time we are using the element only. R is dynamic, C is dynamic, then WB, print tables, R, column C, table values. So that's the code, guys. Let's run it. Let's run it. Okay, the CFT screen has been launched. V116 is only for automated testing. Okay, see, the information is getting being fetched from the BAP data table. See how fast this process is. With a few lines of the code, we are completely fetching the total number of rows, which is equal to 242, and the columns 5. So whatever the information which is available, we are passing those values to the Excel spreadsheet. So in the Excel spreadsheet, you can perform basic operations. You can, use the pivot tables. You can sum up the values. You can perform other data analysis as well. Yeah, we are almost there. Yeah, the values are still being getting extracted. So we are done. See, process finished with exit code 0. Let's check the Excel spreadsheet. Perfect. See, We have all the table rows and columns data in our Excel spreadsheet now. Congratulations, right? So with that, I will take a pause and thank you for joining me today. I hope you have liked this video. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for all the upcoming videos notification. And definitely, guys, this will motivate me to bring more informative content like this. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.